Hey guys, it's Jan from H80i, and today we'll be doing unboxing of the Corsair Hydro Series H80i. I've done an unboxing this already, but this one is shrink wrapped. So I'm actually trying to do a water cooling build, so I'll be showing you how to install this on the Corsair H80. No, that's not in the Corsair Carbide 400R, and no, this is not the water cooling kit. I just need something temporarily because I sold my previous liquid cooler in order to get parts like, tubing. So I have some 5/8 inch tubing here. I might actually unbox later and show you the difference between 5/8 tubing on there and 5/8 tubing on here, or OD rather. So let me get my handy dandy knife on my 15 in 1 toolkit. Actually, let me just go over the things in there. So Corsair Hydro Series H80i. Corsair Link's a big thing. I'm going to talk about that in just a bit. For Intel and AMD, awesome. High performance liquid CPU cooler and other random stuff. High performance. Just as a note, you're not going to get much performance boost from a Corsair H80 as from a Corsair H60. Like I have a box of there up there. That's what they also say. Protect your hardware and increase your CPU overclocking potential. Yep. Dual thick radiator tells you the difference between with a 3770K at 4.6 GHz at 100% load. Hydro Series, what is this, 100% load at stock, right? No, it's performance, ambient. I don't know how they get 47.94. I have to tell you the voltage there, but it tells you this. I'll do an overlay image of it here so you can see what you have there, and it tells you the noise level between a H80i and the H80, which is lower, and that's partly due to fans. I don't know how I'm going to cut this open because I forgot how this thing opens. I think it opens from this side, so we're going to cut it as so. Okay, and the shrink wrap goes away like so. I'm a huge fan of Corsair stuff. I have like Corsair accessories. I got some random Corsair stuff here. My Vengeance 2000s. I got a 1100 headset back there. Corsair case. Love Corsair stuff. Their RMA service is epic. They're like, I don't think I've seen an RMA server just as good as theirs. The solutions guide for 2010. I don't know why they give this to you. It's 2013 right now. Warranty against defects. Notification for Australian customers. Did I just give this to you? I don't know why. I guess it's the same thing throughout the entire whatever. Quick start guide. Some foam. Some recyclable packaging. Put in the box to the side. And let's see what you got here. So first, we have the pump and radiator, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. Over here, we have two SP120L fans. These things are great because they're the best performing SP120 fans that Corsair has, albeit they're a bit louder. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna cut the shot here because this is just epic. Okay, so I'm back. Here is the fan that came included with the Corsair H80, my Corsair H80, and this is a previous Corsair H80 stock fan. First of all, let's just compare the fans. The fans are epic right now. These are even more epic than I saw before. Okay, first things first. The new Corsair H80. Look at the fan length. The fan cable length. Let's put them on the right side. Like seriously, you're gonna put this like a couple spaces away from your actual cooler. It's not going to be that far away. Why do we need long fan cables? Corsair addressed that. Next part, Corsair recently for their SP series fans released PWM fans. New Corsair H80 fans, PWM, as opposed to the original H80i. So this is like a revamped H80i. So brand new. PWM fans. I mean, their Corsair Link software built into the actual block itself, while talking to them a bit, has 4-pin fan connectors. So why include 3-pin fan connectors if you want to have 4-pin fan things? PWM fans. Awesome. Thumbs up. Best thing ever. PWM fans are better. They make your fans last longer. It's easier to control. It's just bursting stuff instead of changing the voltage and all things break loose. Better for fan controllers. So if you're not going to plug this in directly to the Corsair Link module, well, you have that option. We have our mounting hardware. So we have our AMD, which we'll show you with the screws. Wherever the screws happen to be. Here are the screws. So you have a bunch of screws here. So you use these thumb screws, you put with these bracket thingies, plug into here, thumb screw it in, and then use the AMD bracket and just snap it in. For Intel, you're going to take these thingies. For Intel, supports, I think I didn't read off the box, but I'm pretty sure it's 1366, 1150 series, so 1150, 1156, 1155, and 2011. But for 1366 and the 1150 series, using these screws, so ones would have the same length on both sides. You're going to take it, backplate, put it through, thread it through, put this through, and then screw it in. I'll show you an installation guide in just a bit. Fan screws, washers, awesome. Your 2011 screws, instead of using the backplate, you're going to just plug, screw these into the integrated backplate, or the included backplate on your 2011 motherboard, because they should all be the same. I'm really excited about these fans. Awesome. Other accessories that come included is a fan breakaway cable. So on the original Corsair H80, you just had 4 PWM fans on the header, or on the block. So you just had to plug it in there. It looks all sloppy. Now you can just take this, run it away somewhere else, behind, maybe preferably behind your cooler, and it's awesome. Since the block has 2 of them, I have 2 of them, so I'm going to take one out. So like, this is the Corsair H80. The H80 breakaway cable hasn't changed. They're all PWM fans. Awesome stuff. Awesome, 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 awesome. I'm just going to plug both of them in. Awesome. Just awesome. Okay. So I'm going to put this all the way to the side here. Alright, here is the Corsair H80i. I am so excited for these fans. Okay, so here it is. It's a double thick radiator, so it's thicker than Corsair H60, which traditionally would be around this thick. So kind of for perspective, it's like half, kind of like a little bit more than half of this thickness. And you can see that, like, for certain radiators, like the Thermaltake Water 2.0, the fins start like here. If I was on a double thick radiator, this doesn't have that problem. Although it has a problem where the fins are slightly bent, but that's another story. So it has a more open fin, less dense fin arrangement. So it's more, you can use your fans and have a lower RPMs. It's going to blow enough, the same amount of air. If you just increase it a bit, it doesn't matter. And it's just awesome. So you can screw your fans in there. It comes with 2 fans, push-pull configuration. You're all good to go. Off to the races. And here's a CPU block. So on the original Corsair H80, which had the coolant block, this has also a coolant block, so you're not going to see too much performance. If you have a Corsair H80, there isn't really any reason, unless you wanted to get Corsair Link, because this has Corsair Link built in. So you have 2 fan breakaway ports. So it comes with 1, because I use the same pump as the Corsair H100. So just plug in 1, and if you had another one like I do, you plug that in also, and now you have 4. Awesome. So now you can plug in your PWM fans, and you have full fan control over that. Awesome stuff. For other cables, you have our RPM monitor, and you have a SATA cable for power. Instead of using a Molex cable, which no one has, and it's on your CPU block anyway, your drives are going to be to the right, really. So just plug it into the extra SATA one, and you're all good to go. Not too many people have LP4 connectors, or Molex connectors, as many people call it. And that just about wraps it up. Oh yeah, here is the CPU block. It has an LED on it, so you can change the LEDs. What did I drop? I dropped one on the thumb screw, so it's okay. So it has an LED on this block itself. I can't even see myself with the camera. Yeah, it has a block and has high quality thermal compound built in the bottom. So it's spread out evenly, so it's even better than if you spread it yourself. So that's all fine and dandy. Anything else I should mention? Yes, Corsair Link. I was going to talk about it before. Sorry, I hit my mic. I'm talking from here because there's a lot of ambient noise around me. Corsair Link. So what a Corsair Link module is, so this has Corsair Link, so you can just control your stuff. What Corsair Link is, your lighting module, there's an LED here, so that's considered a lighting module, and you have Corsair fan control. So a Corsair Link cooling node would pretty much be a block that has 4 fan connectors. What's this? 4 fan connectors. It's a cooling node. And then there's 1 port here. There's 2 ports here, actually. There's one for USB for Corsair Link, so this interfaces USB, connects to your internal header. I'm pretty sure you could just use a normal B to A cable and route it to your motherboard. So some people have like internal USB headers. So if you didn't have any more USB 2 for some reason, like a 900D uses a lot of USB 2, I know that. Then you can just use a B to A cable. I'm pretty sure it only uses the 4 ports for anyway, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. So right, lighting node. You could connect it. Here's a Corsair link port. So this runs in and out. So you can run it out to a Corsair link commander, or you can run it in, put a lighting node on it, and run your LEDs. So you can control your whole case lighting based on temperatures. Awesome. So the thing is, I have a lighting node, and you can only run 5 colors. So like I have red, green, yellow, purple, blue, white, red. Okay, that's not 5 colors, like 7 colors. But it's an RGB strip, so you can use Corsair Link. I don't have to buy like another $79 value add. Just buy this. CPU cooler, control my LEDs, awesome stuff. So I'm going to show you how to install it into a Corsair heavily modded Corsair Carbide 400R. Just stay tuned for a video for that tutorial. And if you're just here for the unboxing, it's done. Bye. Alright, starting off, since I can do that really quickly, we're going to start installing our fans, because our fans are important. I'm going to be running both of the fans as an intake. Oh, I'm so excited for these PWM fans. They both are PWM. I love PWM. Okay, so I'm going to run it with the leads from the bottom, so I can just curl it up like this, or like this. I can show you guys. So I'm going to run it as an intake. Where the fan hubs are is where the air is being blown into. So you see the Corsair logo, it means this air is being drawn through that, and then, or the Corsair logo with the spinny thingy. Where the hub is where the air is being exhausted. So we're going to put our fans like this. I want to make sure the fan cables are running out this way towards the back of the case. You're going to take your... Actually, we're not going to do that yet. We're going to do this one first, because this one's going to be screwed into the actual case. So you're going to take your fan screws. You can take some washers too. I think there's 8, right? Oh, it only comes with 4. Okay, I'm going to use the washers for these anyway, because I want to. Take your fan screws, put your washers through. If you don't have a screwdriver, thread them in yourself with your fingers, because it makes everything easier. Be sure you don't want to drive your screws in too far, because then you might cause problems, like threading them all the way into your case, not your case, but into your into the fins, because there's no guard, like Alpha Cool's radiators, which have a guard. Just thread it once, so you can add more washers. The reason I'm using the washers on this one is because when I don't want to, it will prevent me from going too far in to the actual radiator. And 2, I have noise isolating grommets on my case, so that means that I won't have too many problems with that issue that everyone seems to be having. And where is my last one? Okay. Add this screw. So this is my preliminary water cooling setup, because I'm waiting for more parts. I'm running a 3/6. I'm just doing casual talk while I get these screwed in. So you get your screwdriver, screw them in. Don't screw in too far. Make sure you don't want to, because the fins aren't that far away. Okay, it's not, the washer's in, it's not going too far in, so I don't have to worry too much about that. It's being screwed into the fins now, so that is a bit bad. I think that's all good. So on the bottom, it's gonna look something like this. The fan cable's gonna go out like that. Okay, for this part, we're gonna go and bring out the case, and then we're gonna go on from there. Alright, so here is my case. I'm using the Carbide 400R, and I am going to fit my board. I'm going to fit everything into here. So here's my exhaust fan. So I'm going to have the H80i cooler over here, then have the CPU block right here. So, this is hard. You probably could do it if you have the stock cooler until just follow instructions. You have a different cooler to do this. You should make sure the arrows are facing or pointing or are touching the actual stock heatsink. I'm using a ruler, not a ruler, I'm using a screwdriver because it's hard to do it when I'm lacking light, and two, it's hard to just reach across there. So I'm gonna you just push out the pins. I've always hated this one. This one has never liked me. There we go. And after you push them all out, your cooler should just pop out, theoretically. There we go. So there it is. You can see you have a dirty stock cooler. If you're not going to use it, you don't have to worry about cleaning it right now. But you can see my CPU over there is quite dirty, so I'm going to use some toilet paper with some isopropyl alcohol. Cause a fail. If you have like alcohol wipes, you can use those too. They will work just as fine, as long as they're isopropyl alcohol and not like, I don't know, other alcohol. So I'm just gonna take a dab of it and scrub off the pre-existing compound. It's really hard to do it upright right now. As you can see right here, I keep bringing this an angle on my camera. I'm gonna take a cleaner side. I spill some, that's okay. Alcohol's not gonna hurt your computer. Okay. Clean 3570K. Or kind of clean. I might have some toilet paper residue, so what I use is microfiber cloth. And I usually also put some alcohol in it, just a bit. And make the final wipe with the alcohol. And then the back side, just wipe it off, dry it off. Alcohol dries really quickly, so no worries about that. Okay. Now I'm going to focus over to this fan because we need to get rid of it. So there are 4 screws holding in place, so we need to get rid of this fan because we're not going to use it. So I actually uninstalled this fan before when I had previously installed Corsair H80 and got lazy and didn't install all 4 screws. I installed 2 of them. So just unscrew it like so. And the fan should come off like that. Don't forget to take it off from the fan header. And my Corsair link lighting module is taping itself. So I'm going to just lay it down up there. Okay, for the next step, you're going to take your screws, your 4-threaded screws, and what you'd want to do is put a washer in between your case and the cooler itself. I believe that's what you want to do. Not quite sure. Okay, so I'm going to also just rub your fingers through this because you want to get all that dust out. Yeah, no, it's a lot of dust. I'm just gonna put some mechanical compressed air and just dust it out a bit. Because I used this in intake previously. Okay, and then put your screws through. Okay. And then your fan goes through. You actually want to put the cable towards the back. You want to look at your screws, make sure they're going properly from the back. One's the most normal to do. Okay. And make sure they go all the way through. If you have a friend to help you hold up the cooler, even better. So next step, make sure make sure you get your fan cables out of the way, like I'm doing right now. And fan screws are through.
This is obviously not the easiest job in the world. Okay, and get your screwdriver and try to see if you're getting any luck with getting it through a screw hole, which I managed to do, I think. No, I did not. Why is it not thread? I don't know why it's not threading through. It should thread through. Okay, upon doing this myself, I realized I made an error. I flipped the thing so the tubing on the top. There's an idea that's because the reservoir actually might touch your graphics card, which might short it out. So, best if you have a graphics card or something on the first slot, which has an open PCB, you want to make sure that your tubing is up, because that's where the reservoir is, and there's not too much reservoir on the bottom, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, so everything's mounted and should be happy. And my camera's misbalanced again. Just using a USB cable as a counterweight. Okay, so let's install our Corsair H80i backplate and screws. So if you have a CPU backplate cut out on the back of your case, you should be able to just be awesome and use that. Otherwise, you're gonna have to cut your whole entire motherboard, install the backplate, put the screws through, and then you'll be fine. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so the backplate's installed. Make sure they're in through the right screws. So, and then you take one, you might want to do bottom right and the top left, so that you ensure that all your screws are properly inserted. Make sure you use the ones that has the same threads on both sides, or else you're using 2011 screws and it's not going to work. So, finger tight should be fine. It's really hard with the accuracy. Okay, now for ease, you may want to take your fan cables and attach your PWM fan cables to the PWM fan splitter, because it's going to be more annoying to install it later. Just make sure your 3 notches on your fan thing matches up with the 3 notches on the connector. Okay, then you can kind of hide this away in your top left-hand corner, where you won't be able to see it. I'm going to plug it in directly right now. Take out the CPU block here. Next, you have your magnetic mounting bracket. Just take it, find the block, mount your. Actually, you need to. Of course, you need to take off that cable before you can put it on. It just snaps into place. If you feel that magnetic grip on it, you're all good. And then you'll put this cable through. Okay, now would also be a nice time to put in your USB cable for your Corsair link. So I'll be doing that also. So here's your CPU water block, and then you put in your Corsair link cable there. Okay, now the last cable I'm going to insert in here is the Corsair link module cable. I should not touch the bottom. You don't touch the bottom because you might ruin the spread on there. So I'm going to install the Corsair link module. You can use this to connect to a Corsair commander or connect a node into the block itself. Okay, and then simply install this onto here. I'm going to do it off camera, and then thread one screw in, because it's going to be a bit difficult with the camera in the way. Now, before you mount that, make sure you have clearance and you know where you're going to mount your RPM monitor, which goes to your CPU header, and then your SATA connector, which connects to the open SATA. power connector. Okay, that took a little bit longer than I thought. You had to take the thumb screws that you had there, and then just thread it through. I had a bit of a close fit with mine, so I just loosened it, didn't I? Yeah, I'm not even thinking because that took way too long. Anyway, you have to tighten the screws and try to do it on a cross pattern. Don't do it too tight initially, and then just probably do it finger tight. But if you're in a situation like me where you can't like put your fingers through, I can't do that here. Then screwdriver is just fine. So just doing a cross pattern, and when you're done cross pattern first time, finger tightish, then just tighten up with one little jerk, and you should be ready. Be sure to take off the plastic covering over the CPU block. And if I can get it. Great. So you get that nice glossy Corsair logo. And then start routing your cables around, and I'll be doing that off camera, and then you should be done. Okay, just as a bit of a reminder, you need to connect your USB 2 cable, so make sure you plug it in. You don't need to, but in order to get Corsair Link functionality, you need to. If you expect a Corsair Link, then plug it in. I'm going to see if I can just do this. I can't get the camera to balance it, so I need two hands or else I might drop the computer. Make sure you're plugging into a USB 2 port. It looks just like the Firewire at 1394. And that's it. Make sure you connect your CPU fan header, or else it's not going to detect the CPU fan. Make sure you plug in the SATA connector, or else it's just not going to run. And make sure you have your fan connectors, or connect your fans directly to the motherboard if you really want to, and not use Corsair Link. And that is that. So let me plug it in and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so here's the shot where I have everything plugged in, so you can see how my LEDs are on. I want to say that I forgot to mention 3/8 inch tubing, which is great because it allows you to do weird turns like this. So it's up here and it's just curled around each other and right there. So let's power it on and show you guys what it looks like. Remember, you can control the fan curves by yourself. That's my Corsair Link fan module. You can see the CPU block laid up in just a bit. There we go. So you can change the LED on the CPU block. It's too bright right now, so that's that. So I'm going to show you guys Corsair Link, and then we'll go on from there. Alright, this is going to be the last shot here. So I'm on Corsair Link. Sorry about the background noise. So Corsair Link. So here's the Corsair logo. You can see your case here, kind of. You can figure out where your fans are and place them wherever you want. On the left side, you control each of your aspects. So your H80 fan 4 and 3. So I plugged into the wrong port. Who cares? So you have 4 and 3. You can have H80i pump. So it tells you the RPM of your pump right here. Your temperature of your CPU. The temperature of the actual CPU block itself up here. Your LEDs are here. So this is the Corsair Link. These two are the Corsair Link LED kits. So you can see I have it set to red, green, blue, and white. So it's going to cycle through those three colors. And I just did the same thing for the CPU block. It's just they're not timed properly. You just need to click confirm at the right time, and then they'll be synced properly. Also tells you your temperatures for things that your computer can normally just monitor, like your core temperature of your GPU or the your hard drives. So let's go take a look. You do custom power curve. You can check out graphs on here to group things together and stuff. Power consumption. You can also update your firmware on your cooler. So next, let's go on to here. So you can see things happening. So you can see the CPU block is turning from blue to yellow to green. And then slowly it's going to turn from green to blue. Yeah, there we go. Now it's turning blue. And you can see the background. You can also see the LEDs are turning green in the background too. It should turn to blue also. So now it's blue, and now the block should turn white. So that was my demonstration of Corsair Link, or that was my unboxing overview of the Corsair H80i, Corsair Link, and Corsair Link lighting module, and an installation guide on the Corsair H80. Any questions, be sure to post them down below, and I'll be sure to answer them as quickly as possible. I'm Jan from H80. Thanks for watching.